Okay, now that I'm Reagan Dean instead of Mitra Ray, this is good. Okay, in the right account. So you guys, I don't. How many of you got to read "Get Over Your Damn Self"? Has anybody read the book? Show of hands.
I did.
I haven't.
Okay. All right. So I want to hear from you guys. For those of you that have not read "Get Over Your Damn Self," get over your damn self and get the book. Okay. It is, I'm reading this. I was telling Richard, I said, I don't know, did she get into all of our coaching calls? Because I feel like I could have wrote this book.
Now she's frozen.
Oh, I am? I'm frozen?
You keep freezing.
Oh, how bizarre is that? Am I frozen now?
No.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Okay, let me know if I freeze again. So if you haven't read the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, read the damn get over yourself. Probably the best book I have read in a long time on how to be successful in our business. And what I was saying when I was probably frozen is I was like, when I was reading this book, like, what did she get on our YouTube videos? Like, I could have wrote this book. And you guys have heard me say probably everything in this book, probably everything Ellen said in this book, Mel said in this book. And it was absolutely awesome. So what I'd love to do is have you guys share some of your ahas from here. I know that for me, you guys can see that I highlighted almost the entire book because I thought it was so fantastic. And what I liked about it is that it was kind of no nonsense. Like, what do you really need to do to be successful in our business? And just as a little teaser for those of you that haven't read it, there's some great verbiage in here. There's some great text messaging verbiage that you can use, that you can copy and paste into a note and use again. And basically, it's just saying, look, you know what? Congratulations, you're the CEO of your own business. And none of us have to do much of the heavy lifting as like the regular CEO. But we do have to build a team, and we do have to do our own work. So before I kind of share some of my highlights, I'd love to hear from those of you that have read, like, what did you like in the book? What did you get out of the book? What were some of the things you shifted in your business after reading the book?
Oh, you start, Stephanie.
Okay, sorry. I just love the what's in it for them, and just to kind of always approach somebody and try to figure out how you customize your verbiage to, what's in it for them. Also, she leads with the business every time. And so kind of figuring out, finding a little bit of doing research on that person either before or live right in front of them, just kind of, fusing together how you can customize your approach to each person so that it's not just a regular sell, like it's not the same thing. So I love that. And that was my big thing.
Very good. Who else?
I will say that we know that if we don't touch our business every day, that, it's not going to pay us like a business. But I think just, for more than a decade, I've heard that. That's very obvious. But just, hearing her say that, we need to come up, with that daily method of operation that we know about. But, to come up with the people the day before, who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to call? And what customers am I going to serve today?
Yeah, and there's a great memory jogger in there for you guys to reference. So it's great on Audible, but I think I would do it in print as well so that you can go back and use it as like a little manual. Love that, Jenna. How are you, Ellen?
Well, I mean, I'm with you, Reagan. I've been in network marketing for 12 years, and I've read all the books. And this is probably my new favorite. This is probably my number 2 book for people to read. I think the first is GoPro when they're getting started, but I think for anyone serious here, this is a must read. And I listened to it on Audible. I just really appreciated that I thought she was so clear about the principles of network marketing. And the thing about principles, you guys, is they never change. Like, those are not, the things she teaches you to do are not trendy. Like, are you Facebook messaging or are you Snapchatting? That doesn't matter. These are the principles of what we do. She does such a great job of weaving in her story, and her story is very compelling, and she is very no nonsense, which I appreciated. And I think my takeaways from that were, I am still growing as a leader in terms of guarding my time and making sure I pay myself first. And so, you know, I always am having to look at, like, okay, where am I spending my time? Because I love my team, but it's not really duplicatable if I spend all my time with my team instead of bringing new people in, right? Because I want to teach my team to do what is going to duplicate, what's going to get our mission to more people, and what is going to pay, you know, you guys. So that was a big aha for me. Her business savvy was just inspiring. I mean, she's a butt kicker. And she talked about, you know, she was going through stuff in her life that I could really relate to. She was actually in the book going through having a sick mother. I'm going through that. And, you know, keeping that mindset of, like, don't let a day or an opportunity go by. And also, the last thing that I thought was incredible about her is she absolutely expects everyone in her network to either look at her business, join her business, or deliver referrals. As, like, kind of like, you know me, and, like, this is something that, you know, you're going to do for me. And I think so often we come at this with, you know, an apology or an insecurity. And when you just go out there and start asking for referrals or asking people who they know, or, you know, can I have 30 minutes to have you take a look at this? Because if you don't tell them about Juice Plus, you guys, somebody else is going to. You know, Dave Rankin was talking at boot camp about the puke bucket. When you go, you know, you go to a Juice Plus event and that person you've been too chicken to invite is already there, and they joined somebody else's team and they brought someone, and you go in the corner and puke. So if you take her no nonsense approach of just, you are going to talk to everybody, and that's the expectation. I just love that.
Yeah. And when you said that about time, she said the next time you find yourself saying, I don't have time, instead try saying, it's not a priority, and see how that feels. I mean, that's so true, right? So, you know, I think, I've been doing this for over 15 years, and I think if you can touch your business every single day and really think about blessing other people and not being tied to the results, and going out and saying, you know, who can I be a light for today? Who can I listen for some needs today? And not, so what happens with a lot of people is I think that they start to wear somebody else's shoes that don't fit. In other words, they're talking to the person before they've even given them the opportunity. They start to decide whether they can afford it, whether they need it, all of that, whether that, you know, this would be, they would have enough time. And I was talking to actually Diana about this today, that's not our job. Our job is to say, look, this is great. This is an option. And people will decide for themselves if this is something that is good for their health. I mean, you just never know. You never know when somebody's been looking for something that can help them, or a way to make some other income. A lot of people are stuck and don't have any money because they don't have another option, and we have another option. So you don't want to be somebody that is deciding all of that before them. Let them decide that. And she does a great job of kind of talking about that. Like, look, you know what? It is what it is. Here I am. This is what I'm doing. I'm excited about it. If you're excited about it and you're not doing that apology stuff, like Ellen said, chances are people might see a fun way to join you. You make this an awesome experience for themselves. And, you know, you can then work with somebody that's the worker. So, love that.
Yeah. And I mean, Reagan, I will add this just in my experience. I have had those times where I walk in somebody's living room and they've apologized to all their friends for what we're doing and me being there. And it is like the worst feeling. And I pretty much like it, you know, we have the most medically researched nutraceutical on the planet. We have fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Get over your damn self. Like, there's no other better sentence for it. It's not about you. It's about who needs this. So it's her confidence and just her stance is so refreshing. I'm like, I got to be more like that.
You guys are like that, though. That's just it. I would have to say, Ellen and Reagan, you guys, you really have said most of what she said in the book over and over again. The thing that my takeaway from the book was truly the, am I coachable? She gets this right away. Are you coachable? Do you like people? Are you willing to talk to lots of people? And I had to think about that, because at first it was like, oh yeah, of course I am. And then I had to go a little bit deeper. The truth is maybe I'm not as coachable as I'd like to be. I need to be open to do what Reagan and Ellen and everybody told me I need to be doing. And so, I've been coached my whole life, but I also more recently in the past 10, 15 years, I've been more of a coach. I've been a mentor. And so so being coached has become more foreign to me. So I felt like this book did a good job of making me do some soul searching and thinking about what is holding me back, what is keeping me from peak performance, so to speak. I mean, I am scared to talk to people. I'm an introvert, and I like people, and I like to talk to them on a general level, but to put myself out there and ask them if they'd be interested to take a look at what I'm doing, and ask them, are you interested, yes or no, and be okay with the no. That was a take-home message for me from this book, and I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And you know what? I also love that she said, look, we just do the same thing over and over every day, day after day. And the more that you're willing to kind of get out of your comfort zone, the more comfortable you're going to be with that. But I also had a few calls this last week that I think that there's a mindset out there where I think many of us are we're trained to work for somebody else. And I know Rachel and I were talking about this today, was that I asked a few of you, even over the weekend, that if you were working as an employee for Juice Plus and your job was to get the word out about our products, would you feel different about what you're doing? And every single person said yes. And I said, oh my gosh, that's kind of funny. Like that's what we really do. We are getting the word out about Juice Plus, just because we happen to be getting paid because of those efforts versus a paycheck. Isn't that so silly? Because we've got this whole paycheck mentality, this trading time for dollars mentality. And so why is it okay to work for somebody else versus yourself when you've got the same product, right? And I will tell you guys that I have seen time and time and time again, you come to conference, you see time and time and time again, people that continue to get out and are belly button to belly button, eyeball to eyeball, ear to ear with people. You're making money only when you're talking to people about our products or joining our team. And time again, we'll see people that they'll just move up this marketing plan gradually, or sometimes it'll be really quick. And I think it always makes me laugh when we get somebody that all of a sudden their team is just rocking, and people are like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? They're doing something different. And then you find out, well, they've been in the business for 15 years. They just started being consistent in their business and doing what we've told them to do from the beginning. And it's going to take 2 to 3 years of consistency with that amount of activity to get there. Whether you decide to start that now or you decide to start that in 15 years is your choice. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the good thing is this is a business. So you don't want to judge what your paycheck is right now. When you open a business, like if you went and opened up a dental office, they've got several $100,000 out for several years before they ever really make a positive income. You have $50 out. and you're getting that back on your own order, and everything else is positive, and you have the opportunity to go out and bless so many people. And then by developing a team of people, you can be the corporate leader that finds other people in your community or your network that is able to do the same thing. How many more people can you bless? That's where you can make some money here. So I love that she said 80% of your time should really be spent on your own personal business, because I think as we start to get people who join our team, we start to feel over responsible, like we've got to help them. We don't help them. We assist them, and we're in their corner to say, hey, let's strategize. What can I do to assist you in you being successful? But I better be spending some time on my own business. And, you can't motivate people. They have to motivate themselves. And if they can't motivate themselves, you're better off going to find somebody else who can motivate themselves, and be grateful that they're a wholesale buyer, because that's just, we have a lot of those, and it's okay. But who do you want to, if you want to be somebody that makes this as a career, read this book and go, okay, gosh, there's a list. I should make my list. And, I should probably share my story, right? And I should share my story with strength. Anybody get anything out of the story? Chapter 5 is all about the story. Anybody get any ahas out of the story on how to structure your story?
I want to go reread that part again.
Yeah, she said, if you go ahead.
And I think that's a takeaway.
I'm not. Are you guys getting that?
I can't hear you, Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
It's kind of cutting out a little bit.
Yes. Go ahead.
Well, hey Reagan. Can you
Yeah.
hear me now? It's Mel. Hey, not so much about the story. I think, again, I need to go back and read that part, which is why I wish I would have bought the book rather than just listen to it on Audible, because I found myself wanting to highlight. So if you haven't done it yet, buy the book. Maybe listen along with the book and have your highlighter there, because I've got to put that in my Amazon cart tonight so I can get it again. But, really the big takeaway that I took away was she's brave. She's bold, and everything that she does in her business and all of her language is in align with that. And, she's super connected to her why she's doing this, and she makes it a priority. So, but the one thing that I have implemented since reading the book is, for some reason, and maybe it's just where I am in my business right now, is, how sometimes people, like, they sign up, they're super excited, and then they're in the, witness protection. What do you call that? They action, right? Do you know what I mean? They're like, they want the product, they signed up as a representative, and then you're like chasing them for weeks. And, I hate that feeling of like, well, they said they wanted to, but then now I feel like I'm chasing them. So what I've implemented in my business is really, like, the second that they sign up, it's making that appointment right away before I leave them, so that, and then the second that we talk or whatever, that appointment, then we make the next appointment, and we make a next appointment. And I've had so much better luck at, and I know Reagan has said this over and over again, but for some reason this
I'm gray because of it.
I know, but it's made such a huge difference. And for whatever reason, that's the one thing that is totally changed. Like, even the way I'm working with my reps, and if I'm doing 3-way calls with them, I will actually set up that appointment with them for their next, call. So it just makes it so much easier, and so much more seamless in getting people started and doing what they said they wanted to do and what they were excited about. So I don't know, making that appointment to appointment. And that can even be, with your customers too. Like, hey, I'm going to call you next week just to make sure you got your order. those kinds of things. And you can keep doing that, as the process goes. So.
Yeah. Number one tip, if they're in your calendar, it will happen and you're not playing chase. If you say, let me know, or I'll see you next week, it will never happen for you. People don't let people know. And when you start calling them and they're not there, they don't answer because they're busy, you're going to feel like you're chasing. They're going to feel like you're chasing, and animals run when they're chased. So, we don't want to be that. And so if you have an appointment, then, it's all about really respecting your own time as well, right? So if you're talking to somebody, like I personally don't want to talk to somebody who's going to waste my time. If they're interested in continuing the conversation, we're going to have an appointment to follow up. Like I'm going to say to them, look, here's the information. Before I give it to you, I know how busy you are. I know I'm busy. I hate phone tag, don't you? Why can't we chat tomorrow or the next day so I can answer your questions? I'd love to hear what you think. Great. Would this time or this time work better? And I'm setting that appointment with them. I don't have to worry about them anymore, because I think so much of the reason why people get tired of doing their Juice Plus business is they've got all this mental energy and they're trying to keep track of who they need to call versus just putting it in the calendar and moving on with their day. So that is so huge, is scheduling everything. Plus, then you're going to do it. They're probably going to be there for the call. They're probably going to watch the stuff you gave them. And it's a lot more professional. And for you, if they're not there and they're not there after you've called a couple of times from the appointment, then it's really easy for you to kind of weed them out as somebody that's not really serious about their health or looking at a business opportunity, and you can move on versus worrying about what they think of you and all this other mental gymnastic stuff that we try to do, right? So keep it simple, you guys. It doesn't have to be hard, and it's a lot more fun when you've got people that are in your calendar that you can go out and you can find out, are they even interested in having the conversation, okay? I loved in the story, she said, don't feel like you have to come in with a product story right in the beginning, because everybody that you bring on then will feel like they have to have a product story. Be excited about what you do. Like, gosh, you know what? I was so interested in this because I wanted to have the best health possible. And it was a great way for me to share it with other people so they could too. And it's allowing me now to be able to stay home with my kids or create, a safety net around my family, whatever it is you want to say. And I'm really excited about, the products and that I get to do this. I mean, it could be something so simple, but you want to keep that story really short, because if you have this long product story that drones on and on and on and on about all your ailments, people typically will want to tune you out. Okay, so everything needs to be positive. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, well, we are at 7 o'clock. Is there anything else? Hopefully you guys are intrigued enough to read the book.
Yeah, I'm going to get it.
And I love
recommend it.
Yeah, I love to hear your guys' ahas that haven't read it, any ahas you get on Voxer, because we've got a lot of people in our community that are just getting started or don't get on the calls for whatever reason, that you never know that your aha may compel them to read that book and make it easier for them. And you know what? We want, you guys, we want to be a light for other people. We want to make this easy and fun, okay? This doesn't have to be hard. I mean, think about it. You guys put in $50 and some time to have an amazing opportunity, and you have an opportunity to go out and make a difference in other people's life. What a great way to make money, don't you think? I mean, some are going to be interested, some aren't. Oh, well, quit worrying about what everybody thinks about you. Right?
Exactly.
And here's the other thing. Your income with Juice Plus is perpetual. You're going to have people who take Juice Plus from you for the rest of their life. You only sold it to them once, okay? You're going to have people who join your team that share with other people that you didn't even know, and you're getting paid on that, and you're getting paid on that for 5 generations of qualifiers deep, which means you could be getting paid 50 referrals down. I mean, it's humongous. So is it worth your time? It's absolutely worth your time. And you have the opportunity to really have some fun, but make a difference in creating an amazing income that's going to last not only for your life, but did you guys know this, that you can will your Juice Plus income at National Marketing Director to your children?
Wow.
Did you know that? When I say perpetual, I mean generation after generation after generation. It doesn't go away. So is that worth it?
Reagan, I thought it went to the family no matter what. You have to be National Marketing Director to have it do that?
Well, so if you, like my income, if I were to die, my children can take over my business. Yes. And you can sell your business. I mean, I could sell my business if I wanted to, but I would never. Why would I ever want to give that up?
Really?
It's so much fun. Oh, it's the one thing my kids don't get right now, at least.
Exactly.
You know, I just want to end by saying this. I just thought of this. Well, I don't know if we're ending, but we were all just at the Michigan boot camp, and 3 years ago at that boot camp, Sharon Rankin, who was the first national marketing director in our company, she's just such a badass, you guys. And she's always says in her trainings, you know what, leaders are readers. And I want to just encourage, there's a lot of like young moms here. You guys, I never read books when my kids were little. I read Chicka Chicka Boom Boom and Goodnight Moon over and over and over. And if I tried to crack a book open, I was asleep like in the second paragraph, you know? And that's, I really love Audible for that. And I do read more books now, but I still love Audible because, you know, I can get in a half-hour reading a day just walking the dogs and folding a pile of laundry with Audible. And I think it's a really important discipline. And I think this book especially brought me back to how important reading is to develop our thinking and expand our mindsets. And reading always, you know, this is why we teach it to our kids. It takes you into someone else's world and gets you to stop thinking about yourself, right? And that's kind of the whole point of this mission. So I just want to encourage everybody to listen to some books, and your kids will grow up and they will go to school all day, and you can schedule your business so you can come home and have coffee for an hour and read while they're at school. It's wonderful.
It is. That's awesome. All right, you guys will have an awesome week. Next week, we've got Jamie Bischoff, who's going to be sharing. And you guys, Jamie has 3 really small kids and still kicks butt with Juice Plus. So you're going to want to hear her share some of her tips on how to do this and be busy. She's busier than probably, well, she and Jenna are the 2 busiest people I know. So I can't wait for her to hear, for you guys to hear what she has to say. And so thank you for joining us. Have a beautiful week. Go out and bless some people. Shine your light for other people. And let me know what you guys need.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.